Nemanja Nedovic once again was the hero in the Belgrade derby, but in my eyes, the main story of this particular match was Ioannis Sfairopoulos outcoaching Zeljko Obradovic. The defense and lineups he chose kept Partizan to only 11 assists, despite them averaging almost 24 in 5 games prior. Also, Zvezda's modern offensive rebounding strategy was a major factor in the second half. So without further ado, let's get into the tactical breakdown of the Belgrade derby. And Sfairopoulos did not wait long to surprise Zeljko. To start the match, he threw out a lineup that has never spent a single second on court together before. Point guard Cody Miller-McIntyre was paired with 3 forwards and Joel Bolomboy theoretically making Kalinic or John Brown a shooting guard. But that doesn't really matter nowadays because this extremely big lineup allowed Zvezda to switch on every ball screen quite easily. Kalinic is now on Davies, he fronts, and Davidovac comes to double from the weak side. Brown is between 2 and Partizan do well here cutting, but it's an offensive foul before Sterling Brown can shoot. Switching completely killed off Zeljko's ideas and Partizan's flow. Against this strategy, the set plays don't really work. You have to rely on switch beaters such as slip screens, flares when someone plays ISO, or offensive rebounds. Here, Partizan stopped their set after 1 pick and feel okay about Krlik attacking Davidovac, but watch how many rotations they need to beat. Bolomboy comes over, Kalinic takes his man, John Brown takes Sterling, Cody takes Davis, Bolomboy helps again, Davidovac rotates over to Bonga, goes back to the corner, Bolomboy helps for the 3rd time, and only then Partizan score. This switching defense for Crvena Zvezda would be much harder to pull off with Iago dos Santos or Nemanja Nedovic playing big minutes. And that is why they played only 20 minutes in total and why Cody Miller-McIntyre was huge in this match. His size and strength made Isaiah Mike having CAM nearby not a mismatch Partizan liked. Look how the point guard pushes Isaiah out of the paint. Later, Brown is forced to go inside where he sees a perfect peel switch and it's a turnover. This starting lineup played 8 minutes without a substitution, and not only it did not allow Partizan to score and their fans to get super excited, it went +4 in that span. Again, 1 screen, Davidovac is on Krlik and it's go time. Partizan tried to move the gap defenders by setting flare screens, but Jones opts for a 3-pointer that rims out. To be honest, I wasn't a big fan of how Partizan attacked this switch-all system throughout the night. Too many possessions ended in little to no movement, and moreover, nobody else touching the basketball. That's not the offense that gets more people in rhythm, plus it made Zvezda's life way easier too. It was calculated some time ago that the less times the ball moves from side to side, the less points per possession you create, since you don't really put the defense in a situation to make mistakes. And actually, it took Partizan 13 minutes of gameplay to break this Zvezda switch-all system not by individual efforts but collectively. Kanan is on the ball here and Bolomboy switches, but Zvezda does not want Isaiah to remain with Jones because that would cause problems. They look to triple switch with Petrushev with Kanan going to the corner. But let's go back and watch Mike's movement. He knows Kanan is going there, you can even see him looking, and that is why guard gets lost while Mike scores a mid-range jumper. But that was super rare from Partizan. Instead, they opted to attack the weakest, in their eyes, defensive links from Crvena Zvezda. Mostly it was Davidovac, Petrushev, or the smaller ones like Nedovic, Kanan, and Iago dos Santos. However, it is fair to say that all these guys did pretty well on Friday night, especially Philip. He was amazing. Here he saves Iago from guarding Jones in the post, stands his ground against Tyreek, who uses just a little bit too much aggressiveness trying to get closer to the rim. In this clip, it's a 1-4 pick with corner exit for Brown. Nedovic cuts the screen and denies this pass, and again, Zvezda forces Partizan into a stagnant offense. The Reds don't even help in the gaps for Philip, and that's where I think Partizan missed someone like Kevin Punter, someone who can knock down off the dribble jump shots. If Lundberg was cold all night, and Krlik Jones is more of a drive-first guard with a mid-range that's a bit easily defended than KP's. And here, Jones drives inside and Petrushev erases this attempt. A great example of the lack of patience from Partizan was this possession. Lundberg decides to attack almost immediately he sees this switch, but unless that's a pull-up midi, he's not going anywhere because Davis is there. He has to kick it out, it's another ISO, and I believe it's not what Zeljko wants to see. According to Instat, Partizan made only 2 shots out of 11, whether that was a perimeter ISO play or post ISO play. Anyway, a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Rabona. It's the EuroLeague's double week, so make sure to check out the great odds they are offering on their website. All the info and the link is in the description down below, so make sure to check them out. The Belgrade derby was definitely a defensive battle, but Zvezda had some interesting ideas offensively too. Because of the big lineup early, Sterling Brown had to guard bigger forwards, and this is where Zvezda looked to attack a couple of times. Yeah, the wing is lengthy, but Davidovac is just taller, so he can rise up over him to score. Later, after Partizan's miss, he's matched up with John Brown in semi-transition. This time, Isaiah Mike comes to double, but his teammates do not seem aware of such plan. They are late to rotate, Bolomboy is wide open, and look at this beautiful dime.
How about the highlight reel play behind the vertebrae from John Brown?
Partizan are also switch-heavy teams, so naturally we saw some of that in the Belgrade derby too. But look what happens in this clip. On the first screen, Brown goes over while Mike switches. That leaves Petrushev open for a moment and Jones covers him. Despite that, Mike also goes down, and when Kalinic has the ball, both bigs can get back to Bolomboy, but Mike does so first because he's higher, leaving Jones near Petrushev. As a result, on the closeout, Jones is out of position, Petrushev is too quick for him, and he capitalizes. Later, after a timeout, Davis is in the drop against Cody, and Red Star worked beautifully against it. CMM takes Lundberg on his back, waits for Petrushev to roll, who does the Gortat screen, blocking Davies and allowing his point guard to go all the way. However, I have to admit, the game was not as beautiful as this last possession I just showed you. So every detail and loose ball was super important, and that is why Zvezda's offensive rebounding was a major key in the second half. They got 15 second chances and exposed Partizan's Achilles heel of this year. Sometimes it was just bad habits from Obradovic's players. Shot goes up and Sterling Brown is ball watching when John Brown is sprinting towards the rim. And where Bonga and Davidovac wrestle, JB gets easy free throws as a result. In the next clip, the ball moves around, but look at Davies allowing Bolomboy to get close to the rim and not do much to actually get out of being under the basket. The only rebound he's grabbing in that position is if the shot goes in. So no surprise, Bolomboy gets not only 1 back tap, but 2 in like 5 seconds. Finally, let's talk about tagging up, a rebounding strategy that maximizes your chances of grabbing long offensive rebounds while also protecting your transition defense. It is a trending thing in basketball right now, and it seems Zvezda are also using it. When the free ball goes up, watch 3 Red Star players not go in front of their opponents, but instead push them under the rim as most as possible. With such tactic, every long miss can be back tapped, and that's exactly what happens in this possession, and Zvezda scored 10 seconds later. Same thing in literally their next possession. Jago shoots, and watch Kalinic purposely not going in front but pushing Lakic as close to the rim as possible, so a long miss belongs to him. By the way, this possession ends in 2 more offensive rebounds and another 2 points for the visitors.
Offensive rebounds once more, and a foul and a finish through the contact.
With the game tied under 4 minutes left, another example of tagging up happens. During this shot, watch Bolomboy, Kalinic, and Petrushev, all 3 crashing the 2-4 meter distance where a missed free usually falls. It's all about mathematics or analytics here, whatever you want to call it, but it's basically what allowed Zvezda to survive in the 4th. Of course, it was all decided by a pretty lucky sequence in the end, but winning a derby on the road is not an easy task. I hope you now get a better picture of how Ioannis Sfairopoulos put his team in the best position to succeed and why Zvezda is a serious playoff contender. Let me know your thoughts about this match in the comment section down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to press like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.